My name is Leon and I'm sailing the Halberkrafty 46 Regina Alaska. I use a lot of weather information before doing a longer passage, and of course I also use Windy, and even my navigation software Time Zero has a built-in weather system, and Furuno and all the other plotters have it mainly as well. But my absolute favorite is Predict Wind. And the reason are two. First of all, I can get weather forecast offshore by just sending a very short request via satellite, and back I get the very sophisticated weather routing with all weather details available, because it's done in the cloud, offshore so to speak, or onshore, and then I just get the necessary information. So I'll show you in a second how this works. So my routing preferences, which I can set here, is that I have chosen a Halberkrafty 46 as my boat, and Predict Wind has a lot of polar diagrams already available. I now say that on the 3rd of August, that's the day after tomorrow at 10 UTC, I plan to sail from Cascais to Porto Santo, actually close to Madeira. So I can move this here wherever I want to start and wherever I want to finish, and I can even put intermediate waypoints if I want to go to some place in the middle, which I don't do at the moment. Then I just press calculate, and now it takes some time. So now I am connected directly to the internet, so I don't have to send off a little email back to Predict Wind and they send it to me. So I'm online. So this is one of the two really big advantages. One is that they do it in the cloud and they only send me the necessary information that I request when I'm offshore. Now I get it all because I'm online. And secondly, I get all these different routes. So here I can now click and see where these different boats end up and think that they are while they're sailing. Or what I really like is the table function. So when I click on the table function, I get all these beautiful graphs in color, the different types of the different models. Here I have the wind speed, so I start off here, the maximum wind speed with this green model, which is the GFS model. This says that 23 knots is the maximum, and then it will go down. All right, that sounds good for the family cruise. The wind direction, well, who would be surprised? Here in the Portuguese trades to Madeira, it's 360, just a little bit less, and then it goes over to some 5-6 degrees, so it's north practically. The wind angle, when I'm sailing, it will be a nice reaching, maybe a little bit downwind, wind coming from the starboard side between 135 and 160 degrees, and all over these days the same angle. Regarding the rain, this red model thinks that I will get a little rain shower here. All right, otherwise no rain at all. I don't believe in this rain shower, to be honest. So the temperature will rise, the pressure will do something, and the wave is very important. And the interesting thing is, if these different models say the same or predict the same, it is much more likely that it's true. So here we start off with 1.4 meter waves, maximum some 2.2 meters, and then it goes down to some 1.4 meters, and they all say the same. That's fine, but the wave height is only one secret. Much more important is the direction, of course. That is also from the north. That's good, that is the wind and the direction is the same, but much more important is the period. The period is something that people forget, because the longer the period, the longer the waves are. And on the Atlantic we can expect long waves, long nice going up and going down, and not the short ones that we are used to in the Northern Europe. So 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds, that's what we want. It is actually going down, which is not so good, until 5.5, but the reason is that it is when the wave height decreases as well. I press on summary. I get a nice overview over the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different models. Like if I click down here, it's nice to know that I don't need any motoring time. It's good to know that the maximum wind speed will be none more than maybe 21, 22 knots. Here it says 24 knots. That's totally feasible because we are reaching with the wind from behind. And what I like, who wants speed in the boat, is that the minimum speed is not less than 12 knots. So that's also quite fine. The average speed I think is not so important, but it gives some statistics that the time upwind is 0, the time reaching is some 1/3 or 1/2, and the time downwind is the rest of it. So I can see that how much the wind is expected to be at the maximum and the waves. So I really like how this is presented. So if I show this to my guests and my crew, they do really get an understanding that if 6 models say the same and none of them are outside the boundaries that we have set, they have a much better confidence to cast off for a 3-day sail over to Madeira, which I'm very much looking forward to, and it will be a nice and good trip thanks to the weather that I have been able to obtain from Predict Wind. Thank you very much.